What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Mind Something. If you're new here, my name is Jake, and in today's video, I bought some more GPUs, and I'm going to show you what I got. Also, Nvidia is about to release a very interesting new workstation GPU, and we're going to take a look at it, see how it might perform for mining. And Nvidia's CTO says crypto is useless to society. But before we get into those topics, do me a favor, hit that like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Let's take a look at the market. So the time of recording right now is 9:17 and it is March 26, 2023. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 27,873, Dogecoin at 7.5 cents, Monero at $160, Ethereum Classic at 20 bucks. Conflux is at 33, almost 34 cents, ETH POW at 335, Ravencoin at 2.5 cents, Chia at $38, Kadena still under $1 at 94 cents. Flux is up about 5% today, currently sitting at almost 63 cents, and KASPA is having an excellent day and hitting an all-time high, currently sitting at 0.01844, up over 10% over the last 24 hours. Darrow is actually outperforming KASPA for the last 7 days, sitting at $6.98, up about 5.5% today and over 20% for the week. Ergo currently sitting at $1.52, Cortex at 25 cents roughly, Nexa, pretty much sideways, Neoxa down about 1%, Aletheum having an excellent day today also, currently sitting at 26 cents, up over 12% over the last 24 hours. Dynex is up about 3.2%, currently sitting at 8 cents. Reptorium is down about 5.5%, Radiant is down about 3.5%, Hive Mapper pretty much sideways, currently at about 2.7 cents. And Meowcoin's having an excellent week also, up almost 20% and about 3.5% over the last 24 hours. Let's go ahead and take a look at emissions over the last 24 hours. So KASPA moving up to the number 4 spot, again outperforming Chia, currently roughly about 400,000 a day in emissions. Then we got Ravencoin at 91,000, Conflux at almost 90,000, Monero at 68,000, Ergo at 58,000, Flux at 30,000, and then we've got Dynex at almost 14,000, and Darrow looking really good and healthy at 19.46 thousand. And as far as 7-day difficulty change, Bitcoin is up over the past few days. They're currently up about 7.5%. KASPA is up 6.15%. Next, we got Ravencoin down about 5.5%, Conflux down about 11%, Ergo down about 9%, Flux up, actually it's about sideways, and Darrow is up 14%, but it's come back down since the beginning, or I should say middle of the week. And Dynex is up 90% for the week, but bear in mind, a lot of that has to do with the latest version of SRB Miner, and that's, I shouldn't say old news, but some recent news. Next, let's take a look at profitability on a single 3070 at 13 cents per kilowatt hour. Right now, KASPA is coming in on top at 16 cents a day, followed by KASPA on NiceHash at 13 cents a day, tied with Aletheum at 13 cents, Dynex at 8 cents, Nexa at 7 cents, Ergo and KASPA at 6 cents, Radiant at 6 cents, and everything else is negative at the moment. And let's go ahead and take a look at ASIC miner profitability. So the iPolo G1 taking the top spot, currently sitting at $10.61 mining Grin. Then we've got the L7 at $10.06, followed by the D9 at $9.58, and then the K7 at $8.91. The HS3 at $7.56, the KA3 at $5.34, and the first Bitcoin miner, the S19 XP Hybrid, at $2.46 a day. We've got the Jazz Miner X4 at $3.61 a day, the X16 at $3.45, and then from this point on, pretty much everything is in the red. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rig that I bought. So he had 2 rigs for sale. This one consisted of 13 3070 Ti's. We've got 5 for the wins, and then we've got, I think, 3 or 4 of the XC3s. Got a couple of what are these? Asus Tough Gaming Overclock editions, and then one of the Gigabyte white versions. And we've got a 1600 watt gold rated power supply from EVGA, as well as a platinum rated. And currently I've got everything up and running. Really excited to get all of this working off of 2 power supplies. Pretty amazing. And I think this may be the largest rig that I've ever had operating with 13 GPUs in one. Unfortunately, I'm not keeping all of it. A buddy of mine, Adam, if you're listening, he is taking 10 of these GPUs as well as one of the power supplies, maybe both, and I'm going to keep 3 of them, and the rest are going to him. But at the moment, I'm going to host for him, and until I get payment, I'm mining everything to my wallet. So I wanted to show you guys what that rig looks like. So I've named it Yavin Prime, which is the largest planet in the Star Wars ecosystem. And we've got one GPU acting a little odd. It took me a while to get all 13 of them running. At first, only, I think, 9 of them pulled up whenever I fired the rig up. And then after kind of tinkering with things, I had 10, and then 11, and then 12, and then we got all 13 running. So very excited to have them all up and running. And let's go ahead and back up here and take a look at what I'm mining. So at the moment, I have everything on KASPA, which is in HiveOS, just over 22 gigahash, and we're just under 3,000 watts in software. But I also have a 3080 Ti in my desktop and a 3080 in another gaming desktop here at the house. So we're sitting at roughly 24 gigahash total, and it's really disheartening to see this number here, this estimated earnings. So usually, well, I shouldn't say usually, in the past, with just one rig, I think it was Naboo, which used to have 33080s and 33070s. I sold one of the 3080s recently. But this one rig was netting me over 1,000 KASPA a day just not that long ago. So yeah, it's getting difficult. But let's go ahead and take a look at this brand new GPU coming from Nvidia. So this article comes to us courtesy of Tom's Hardware. It says Nvidia's tiny RTX 4000 SFF 20 gigabyte offers RTX 3070 performance at 70 watts. Sounds like it would make a good GPU for mining, but the jury is still out. Let me go over and just kind of scroll through some of our specs here. So we've got 6,144 CUDA cores, 192-bit bus, and let's see what else we got here. So TDP of 70 watts, memory bandwidth 320 gigabytes. So 160-bit memory, I can't talk. 160-bit bus, and then we have, let's see what else. We were missing a couple of specs from here. I think it was the base clock and the boost clock. But I did find that information elsewhere, and I threw it all into the TPA calculator. Now, most of you familiar with the channel, I know you know what this is already. For those that are not, this is a spreadsheet that I created to assign a score to every GPU so that we could get away from using Ethereum's hash rate to size our farms. So this actually became pretty helpful when trying to predict hash rates on the 4000 series and the 7000 series from AMD before they came out. And so I've taken these specs and I've thrown it into the spreadsheet here. So we've got, actually the bus size is 192-bit, 6,144 CUDA cores, memory bandwidth of 320, which is pretty small, and our base clock and boost clock speeds are terrible. So 1290 on the base clock and 1565 on the boost clock, giving us a TPA score of 87. Well, where does that compare to a 3070? So a 3070 comes in at 90. So yes, performance-wise, this could be potentially very close to a 3070. However, if we look at the hash rate predictor, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, there we go. So I threw these specs in here. Let me rename this RTX 4000 SFF. So we got a TDP of 70. We throw our TPA score in here. We use our same ratios as the 4000 series. And if we use 50 watts mining Ethereum, that should give us roughly about 28.5 megahash. However, look at this. Look at our efficiency rating on ETH. We're at 0.57, and currently the most efficient card on ETH is a 4090 sitting at 0.488. So this could be a really good card for mining, but don't expect huge numbers out of this GPU. It's essentially probably going to be somewhere in the hash rate range of like a 3050 or a 3060. Not quite sure where it's going to land, but there's some big differences in the specs here. So if we take a look at the TPA spreadsheet again here, let's just compare some of these. So very small bus compared to some of the other 4000 series, but when we compare it to the 3000 series, we're still quite a bit smaller on the bus size compared to a 3070 and the 3060 Ti. And as far as CUDA cores are concerned, got the same amount of CUDA cores as a 3070 Ti. And then if we compare the memory bandwidth, roughly about half that of a 3070 Ti, and nowhere close to what a 3070 is. But our base clocks and boost clocks are pretty similar, or at least more similar to the 3000 series than the 4000 series GPUs. So it's probably going to be really good at very specific algorithms and not so great on some of the others. But the TDP is the big kicker here with, a total TDP of 70 watts. That is extremely low. So it could be extremely efficient, but I got some really bad news for you. The MSRP on this thing is going to be $1,250. So I don't think this is going to be one that I'm going to deploy, but I don't know. Jury's still out. We'll just wait and see. Anyways, last thing I wanted to get into with you guys is Nvidia's CTO saying that cryptocurrencies are useless to society. So we're talking about Micheal Kagan, or Keegan, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. NVIDIA Chief Technology Officer said that cryptocurrencies do not bring anything useful to society, reports The Guardian. There is a better use for all that processing power, such as artificial intelligence, as the company is now focusing its data center business on LLM, large language model, AI tech, he adds. In 2021, NVIDIA made its first attempt to stop the cryptocurrency boom impacting the RTX 3000 series. A new variant of the RTX 3060 GPU was released featuring light hash rate technology, which was said to reduce the mining efficiency. This technology was later added to the rest of the RTX 30 series GPUs, with some exceptions. However, just a couple of months later, crypto mining software developers were partially able to overcome the limitations of the LHR algorithm and slowly unlocking full mining performance a year later. In 2022, NVIDIA was forced to pay $5.5 million as part of the settlement with the SEC, U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, because they did not inform the investors on how mining impacts the GPU demand. Furthermore, according to the SEC filing, NVIDIA was aware of cryptocurrency mining driving part of their business, and even claims that NVIDIA senior management wanted to go after the crypto mining market, as reported by CNBC. The last crypto boom had a massive impact on the GPU market, with GPU prices skyrocketing and unfortunately remaining at unimaginable levels. It may take months, if not years, before GPUs return to normal prices, if that's going to happen at all. And I'm betting it probably won't, or at least that's what I would put my money on. But obviously I have put my money on it, so to speak. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. I would like to see your comments down below. What do you think about Micheal Kagan, CTO, saying that cryptocurrencies do not bring anything useful to society. I think it's, yeah, I'll wait to see your opinions. Anyways, so coming up in the next video, I want to cover something that I saw about Venezuela getting in trouble for trying to avoid sanctions with a mining operation and selling oil for USDT. It's going to be a pretty big deal. Anyways, that's it for this video. Do me a favor before you go, hit that like and hit the subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.